The answer is yes, super, super yes. And stay with me the entire video so that you can make sure you don't make the same mistake that I did and lose your CJO that was going to be handed to you. Today I'm going to share with you 5 of the most important things you need to know when you are going to become a flight attendant. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz and this is Fly with Liz, and I share tips about travel products, and all things flight attendant. So thank you for joining me today. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that right now and give this video a like button. It helps algorithms on YouTube, gets this video out to more people, and allows me to keep doing this for free, sharing this information for you guys. So I really appreciate that 2 seconds to bleep those buttons, the subscribe button and the like button, and let's get on with the video. Stay with me to the end because I am going to share a story of how I actually lost a CJO. It was the first airline I went and applied for because I said this one thing that goes against all of this advice. And this is such an important video if you are in the process of going to get your CJO, you want to become a flight attendant. This is a must watch from the beginning to the end, so stay with me the entire time. And like I said, again, I'm going to share a story of how I lost a CJO because of one thing I said. The first thing you need to know is that you can be based anywhere. So when you are filling out those resumes, when you are on those video interviews, when you're in the face-to-face interviews, remember this: they can base you anywhere. The airlines can base you anywhere. So you need to be okay with it. Of course, they might ask you your preference of base, but you are not guaranteed to get that base. So you need to either be okay with commuting, and commuting is, if you are just new to the industry, commuting means that instead of driving to work like most people do, flight attendants can fly to work. So you would go standby and you have to go before your trip starts, but you can actually fly to work. So that is commuting, and it creates a whole different lifestyle if you're a commuter flight attendant, but a lot of people are if you don't live where your base is with your airline. Or you have to be okay to move to your base if you don't get the one in your hometown that you really want. So keep that in mind, but airlines will ask that. I'm 100% positive that most airlines ask that when you are actually filling out the online application. Are you willing to work at any base? But they definitely will ask that during your interview process. So make sure that answer is a yes, that you're willing to go anywhere, you're super flexible. Let them know when they're talking to you that you are super flexible with that, and that you are willing to do whatever they need. So that is how you answer that question. The next thing you need to know is that if you haven't done so already, make sure you have your passport. If you have your passport, check the date of when it expires. If you need to update it, go ahead and start that process like finish this video. Go ahead and finish this video. Make sure you give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you get my videos right away. But as soon as you do that, once you finish this video, go check your passport. Make sure that it is up to date and that you have at least, I would say at least another year before it expires, or go ahead and start doing the paperwork to renew it. When you're going for an airline job, they will check your passport. They want to make sure that you can travel to and from all different countries, and that once you get the flight attendant job, the CJO, and you go to training, your passport isn't going to expire once you actually get your wings. So they want to make sure that's taken care of ahead of time. You do also need to, fill that out on your application process, but they might actually ask you that question when you go in for the interview, or you will need to bring your actual passport with you so that they can see that it's not going to expire and that it's valid. So just start taking care of that right now. There's no point in waiting, because even if you don't get a CJO right away, you don't get the job offer right away, you can still have your passport and you can still travel without being a flight attendant. So there is no harm in doing that. Go ahead and start that process immediately, or double check your passport now after this video to make sure it is good to go for you getting that flight attendant position. Number 3, that is super, super important, is that when you are there for your flight attendant interviews, if they ask you about your schedule, if they ask you if you are okay working weekends, are you okay working holidays, are you okay missing New Year's Eve, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate Hanukkah, any holiday that you celebrate, birthdays, friends' weddings, are you okay missing them? That comes with this job. When you start out, you are going to be a junior flight attendant, not a senior flight attendant, so you are going to have to work, especially weekends and the days, the holidays, and those times when the senior flight attendants don't want to work it, to be honest with you. So you need to, make sure you're okay with that. Are you okay waking up also at like 3 o'clock in the morning or going for a flight at like 9 o'clock at night? Flight attendant schedules vary like crazy. They are not consistent. So make sure you are okay with the schedules varying, your schedule varying, and also missing those days, because during the interview, they absolutely, hear me out, will ask you this question, and you need to give a positive answer that you are okay with anything they throw at you, pretty much. That you are just gonna blow, like I've heard, like a palm tree, like a California palm tree, and just go wherever the wind takes you, wherever the airline sends you, on whatever day they send you, and you are okay missing everything. Number 4 is that safety is so important in the airline industry. So make sure that you remember that when you are answering questions in an interview, that you answer a question and make sure that in some communication, some kind of form of communication, you bring up that you know safety is important, how safety has affected your previous jobs, how you have been safe on previous jobs, or whatever you can do to throw in safety to some of the answers to interview questions. I am telling you, it is super important. Even if they're not asking you about question about safety, if there is a way to put that in the answer, it's really important. Safety is so important. It is the number 1 priority of airlines, right? Getting people from place to place safely. So if you can put that in an answer to one of the questions during an interview, ding! Telling you, that is a good move for you to do. So keep that in mind when you are looking at STAR questions. Think about, how could safety relate to this? How can I put that in there? Is there a situation where I had to deal with safety in my past? Can I use that as an example? So keep that in mind. And then the last one is customer service. We are there as flight attendants to provide excellent customer service to everybody on board. And that doesn't only include everybody on board, but we are also team members. We are going to be working together. So customer service expands. It's not just the people that you're servicing on your plane during that time. It definitely expands to your coworkers and everybody you come in contact with. Remember, you are representing the airline that chose you and that you chose. So obviously both of you have to choose each other. If you get CJOs from different places, you need to decide what is the best fit for you, what is going to make you the happiest, what airline do you like, what branding do you like. Research the airlines and make sure you feel like it's going to be your home, that you're going to love it, because you're going to be spending so much time with this airline. So you really want to love them and believe in them and be excited to go to work every day and love the outfits. Let's talk about the outfits. That'll be another video, but yeah, you gotta love the clothes, right? Like, come on. But anyway, I digress. So customer service is so important, and when you're in those interviews, make sure that your customer service skills stand out. They want to know how you interact with customers. I do remember actually during one of my interviews, the gentleman, I answered the question, it was a STAR question, how would you handle blah, 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 and I answered it, and then they asked me a follow-up question, and the follow-up question was, well, how do you think somebody else would handle it? And you don't use what I'm saying, but I'm telling you it because it totally threw me off. Nobody's ever asked me that. Totally threw me off, like what I was thinking, because I just didn't expect them to come back with that answer. How do you think somebody else would handle that exact same situation? And you know what I said? Again, do not use what I say. I'm just telling you so that you can like hear, you know. And I said, I honestly do not know how somebody else would answer this. My mind works a certain way. This is the way that I handle things through empathy and customer service and positivity. This is the only way I know how to. So I'm sure other people would handle it differently, but this is the way I know how to handle it, and this is why I would handle it this way. And told them exactly why, and I guess they like that answer because I did end up getting the CJO. But the point is, how do you handle customer service? What do you bring to the table that would make you stand out above other people? So those things so first you have, are you willing to go anywhere and be based anywhere? The answer is yes, super, super yes. And then make sure you are okay, because it will come to fruition. But the answer to that question is yes. Are you willing to miss any day, any holiday, any weekend, any event in your life if you need to work? The answer to that question is yes. Is your passport ready to go when you get hired? Safety and customer service are the main focuses, so make sure during your interview that you focus on both of those. Now, I told you I had a story to tell you about how I lost the CJO. I know for sure this is how I lost it, and I'm not going to tell you I know how, but it was a big airline, and this is how I lost my CJO. And I was very, very devastated that day. I know some of you watching this have gotten a TNBT, which is a thanks but no thanks from an airline. I have also gotten those, and I know the feelings. I can relate to the feelings of how excited you were to go for that interview, and then you do not get it. So I remember pretty much crying on the way from the bus to the airplane, and then I had to go on that airline's airplane to fly home, which was so bittersweet after I did not get the CJO. But here's my story. When they asked me that question, am I okay missing any event to work, whether any future event, and it was just a normal conversation that they were asking, but they asked the question, and I said no. I said I needed to be at this certain event, which was my son's graduation coming up, and that I absolutely could not miss it. I would do anything. For the next 50 years, I will be anywhere you need me to be, but that graduation, I cannot miss it. And I was true to myself, and I don't regret saying that at all, because I was true to myself. I was authentic. I actually do not regret saying it, because I could not miss that graduation, and that was true to me. So even though I wanted the job super, super bad, I couldn't even lie. And you shouldn't lie, of course, right? When you're on an interview, you shouldn't lie, but it was just something that I couldn't even walk the line. I was like, nope, I can't miss this day. And I lost the CJO that day because of that answer. Now, it did teach me a lot about the process and everything else, so I have learned so much from that, and actually other opportunities came up, which I'm super excited about. But those 5 points that I just mentioned are make it or break it with the airline. So if you want that CJO and you want to walk out with that, make sure that you cover all of those 5 topics. Thank you so much for watching. Sending you hugs. It is so great that you're watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe, like that button, and I will see you next time on a video. Travel safe, be kind to everybody. But something deep inside won't let